It's through this catalyst that all of a sudden I saw we are not alone. The people who are waking up are not alone on this ship. We have each other, and there are so many of us. There are so many of us, and this is allowing us to see that, because otherwise we'd just be in our rooms or, on our computers watching great, maybe YouTube, but not connecting with real people. What's up, dear brothers and sisters? Joel's back again with another message of divine light just for you. And we're going to have to take things a bit serious today. Things are not looking too good in Canada, but like I said, we're not focused on the circumstances. The circumstances can give us anything it wants, but the truth is, how are you handling it? What are you doing with the circumstances, and what is your state of being? What is your underlying vibration that determines what all of that will mean and how all of that will unfold? Because honestly, nothing is ever happening to you. Nothing bad is ever happening to you. And judging it as bad will mean that it has to fulfill that meaning. That meaning that you judge as bad will have to come through, and it will have to fulfill itself. Everything is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what are you defining your circumstances with? Here in Canada, there's a sweeping move across all the major cities to make masks mandatory. And while you might agree with it, you might not agree with it, that's not the point of this video. But what's going on here is that this legislation is passing without democratic process. And it's very easy for them to pass this kind of legislation, which maybe the majority is agreeing with, but very soon we may see things unfold the other way. But if we focus on it, if we fight it, remember, what we resist persists. And it's not about fighting. It's not about resisting. It's about using what's happening as a catalyst, as a catapult to push us forward and project us into a new world. Because honestly, a new world is already emerging from all of this. We're already seeing people wake up. People that I would have never thought or would wake up. People that I would have just written off and said, oh, they're not one of us. We have to focus on those people who are like us, who are of like minds, and who are really bringing that aspect of consciousness into the world. Focus on those people. But now people I would have never thought are actually joining ship and on board. This is great times, and we can use this as a catapult to bring us into a new consciousness, into a new awareness. And not everybody's going to be on board. There are going to be people stuck in the old world. And through all this process, through this whole situation, we're starting to see two worlds emerge. We're starting to see people who are like sheep being led to the slaughter, and they're just following whatever they hear. No science, no backup. They're just parroting whatever they've been told by mainstream, by their authorities, whatever. But there are those of us with real awareness, and we're waking up, we're questioning, and we're all over the place. We're everywhere. So if you're watching this video, I know you're on board with this, and I know that you're making conscious decisions and conscious steps to bring forth what you prefer into this world. Bring those conscious steps forward, and it's only through realizing our true potential that we can actually live as fulfilled beings to our truest and fullest potential. Because otherwise we're still just doing the same old, parroting the same old beliefs and reliving the same old situations. Different spaces, new faces, but same circumstances. They just repeat and repeat and repeat. And this has been made very apparent to me in my personal life over the last little while. I realized, like, even before, how many of the circumstances would just repeat themselves with the same different jobs, different relationship patterns, different behavioral patterns. They would be exemplified in different aspects or through different places, but the same exact situations would be unfolding for me. And it's because that's what I've defined myself as without redefining myself. And all this that has come to the surface now, all of this that has come to the surface is a catalyst for me to readdress and move forward. And as I'm readdressing it, things are starting to change. Relationships are much more fulfilling. I I left my job and now I have businesses and I have work to do. I'm creating all this work and I'm connecting with not only you guys but people around me. We've had connections here in Calgary. There have been um, there have been gatherings for not anti-mask gatherings but freedom of choice gatherings. This is being imposed without democratic process, and it's through this catalyst that all of a sudden I saw we are not alone. The people who are waking up are not alone on this ship. We have each other, and there are so many of us. There are so many of us, and this is allowing us to see that, because otherwise we'd just be in our rooms or, on our computers watching great, maybe YouTube, but not connecting with real people, getting messages from great speakers and influencers, but not connecting and not realizing that there's this community right here under our noses, right before us. This is truly, truly an amazing time. We are seeing the split of the earth. We are seeing two patterns emerge, and we are on the path to 5D. I'm already implementing aspects of that, and I'm going to talk about that in future videos, how we can utilize a 5D consciousness to convert the experience which we're living. And that's basically manifesting. You sow a seed through visualizing, through intention, through journaling, whatever it is. That's your trajectory to 5D. And then once you connect with that, you hold that seed, you water that seed, and pretty soon the sprouts will grow. Like this gathering that I've been to, we're doing it again, and things are really pushing forward. Like I thought I was alone, but it started by just making these YouTube videos, and one or two people might comment on them, but those were seeds. And those seeds were planted, and I watered that consciousness, I watered that state of being, and now all of a sudden the sprouts are showing, and people right here in Calgary who are on the same page as I am, who are fighting for truth, fighting for freedom, fighting for awareness, and waking up. And by waking up, we're able to work in the world that we find ourselves in and create the world that it is we've been dreaming of, the world that we know we're deserving of. So because you're watching this, I know that you're on board. Thank you for being aware, for making conscious decisions and taking stands to develop your own self, because honestly, that's the only thing we can take from this world when we check out, when we ascend to the higher dimensions. We have to solve this from the higher dimensions. We have to solve this through conscious, deliberate intention. And we have help coming from these higher dimensions. So if we force it and we resist it on this 3D level, we're going to have pushback. But if we actually manifest it, we can literally turn this around like nothing. So I've manifested a group of people that are like-minded, that are woke, that are questioning, that are aware of rights and freedoms. And I'm not manifesting more of resistance now. I'm going to manifest from the other end, from the other scale, and we're going to see this unfold in a new world. We're going to see two worlds emerge out of this. There are going to be sheep, and they're just going to, do whatever the media or the government tells them to do. There's always going to be that. We live in a world of night and day. There's always night and there's always day in some part of this world. And that's just how it is, So let's choose the light. Let's choose the day. Anytime now I see someone wearing a mask, it's kind of laughable, because After seeing how many people are actually united in conscious awareness, it has shown itself that there are really two worlds, and I choose with the intention, with my state of being, with my reactions. I'm choosing a state of being that's on one world and not the other. And it's kind of laughable seeing people just wearing masks, like alone in the park, or riding their bike down the street, or randomly in their cars. It's silly. It's silly, but two worlds, and we have help coming from other causal realms. We don't have to fight it and push against it down here in the physical. It will unfold that way. We will see people doing physical things to get the job done, to make the changes necessary, to bring a new awareness to whoever is willing to accept and wake up to it. But we don't have to struggle down here. We don't have to work from the bottom up. As Abraham Hicks says, we don't have to push the noodle, because that's not going to really get it anywhere. We're working from the causal realms now. And that's the true ascension to 5D. That's where the real secret lies. That's where the real power lies. And results. That's how I always get my results. That's how I've changed my life around. And that's how I intend to change the whole world around. So join me in creating this world. The world we know we're deserving of. The world that we know we're capable of living in. The world that we know exists already in the quantum probability field. We just have to plug in and experience it. And we do that by our state of being, by maintaining and watering the seeds of intention. Little by little, we'll start to see those seeds sprout. We'll start to see circumstances unfold in alignment with what we've planted. It might take some time. It will take time, especially when we're making big changes like this. But it's inevitable. It's inevitable. And this is the way to change the world. This is how you really manifest the unimaginable. So with that being said, I wish you all an amazing, fulfilling, and consciously expanding day. I'm going to have some vegan pizza here. I'm parked at the park. And I'm actually going to post the recipe for this, because that's a link to my other channel. My other channel has all kinds of recipes, and they're all vegan, because that's how I choose to live. And I think that it's a great way to come into harmony with the earth, and especially with the way food is produced nowadays. That's the vibration which I'm holding, and it's honestly been one of the catalysts to take me to the next level. So wishing you all the best. Stay well, stay safe, stay optimistic. Have an amazing day. Joel signing out. Agape. Salaam. Namaste. I'll see you in the next video. Olives, shiitake mushrooms, kale, pineapple. What else? Pepper. Amazing. And it's not so much about I don't want to wear a mask. Like, if it worked, like, everybody would be doing it for their own protection, right? There wouldn't be a question. But the fact that there's pushback is because it wasn't done democratically. They didn't look at the research. There's obviously something behind the scenes pulling the strings here. We have to solve this from the higher dimensions. We have to solve this through conscious, deliberate intention. And we have help coming from these higher dimensions. So if we force it and we resist it on this 3D level, we're going to have pushback. But if we actually manifest it, we can literally turn this around like nothing. So, well, that's a wrap. I'm going to get a move on. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out the recipes. And I'll see you in the next video.